YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with some basketball analysis on YouTube and on analysisplayground.com. We're going to talk about the Detroit Pistons losing in Summer League against the Philadelphia 76ers. I think that this was an interesting game. It was a competitive game, as you see in the first quarter. 18-16 was the score. Philly leading by 2. They was able to build upon that lead, 23-21. They had some challenges in the third quarter where the Pistons was grooving a little bit, 26-23, and then the fourth quarter they just took full command and they was able to capitalize off a lot of the misses of the Pistons and a lot of the mistakes of the Pistons, and they was able to score 30 huge points to the 18 of the Pistons, and that was basically game. It was the fourth quarter, and they picked it up in the right quarter because that's when it's game time. When you look at the Pistons, Clintman, he had 13 points, -3 and plus minus. He also had 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal. He did gather 5 assists. I think that was really good to see him keeping the ball movement, not letting the ball stick, not being able to go up here, let the ball go as a restart. And I feel like that's what you want to do as a big. Is either you have the shot or you need to find a way to get rid of the ball to another guy at the top of the key or in the corner so you can restart your offense. I feel like he did that well. If he didn't do that, he was just playmaking. But he did have 5 rebounds. One of them was offensive, 3 of 7 from 3, 5 of 10 from the field. You want to see a little bit more rebounding from him. But Holland, he had 15 points, -1 and plus minus, 2 personal fouls, 2 turnovers. He did have 2 blocks in 1 steal. That's really great. I feel like he really had put, those to good use, that length and that body to good use. He also had 2 assists. He had 7 rebounds. One of them was offensive. He was 5 of 6 from the free throw line, but he was 0 of 2 from 3, which is unfortunate because it didn't help his field goal percentage because he was already struggling even to score the midi or even finishing at the rim because he was 5 of 15 from the field. Smith, 12 points, -14 and plus minus. He did have a bunch of personal fouls. He ended up with 5 before the game was over, 3 turnovers. He did grab 11 rebounds, so a double-double for Smith. 5 offensive rebounds, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 of 11 from the field. Moore Jr., 7 points, -1 and plus minus, 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 2 assists. He had 2 rebounds, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 4 from 3, but he struggled finishing and scoring in general. 2 of 10 from the field. He needs to get like a shot that he know he can make so he can have a way to attack the offense. If he's going to be a guard, you either got to hit the midi, you got to hit a floater, or you got to be able to get all the way to the rim. And if you can't do either or, you got to be able to play off the ball. That's something that Moore Jr. is going to have to figure out in Summer League. Cesar, he had 30 minutes. He was 0 of 6 from the field. He also was 0 of 4 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He did have 4 assists, though, 2 steals with that. But, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, -6 and plus minus, and to only score 1 point in 30 minutes is very, very bad, especially when you had the ball in your hand and you had opportunities. You got to do better in that span. Other than that, Smith, he had 0 points. He had played 0 minutes. Johnson, 11 points, +1 and plus minus. He grabbed 6 boards in 14 minutes. He also had an assist. He was 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. I like what I seen out of him in those minutes. He was one of the better stories in the game. Slauson, 0 points, -7 and plus minus, 1 block, 1 steal. 4 rebounds, or 2 from the free throw line, or 1 from the 3-point line. That's what he did in the entire game. Jenkins, 10 points, -22 and plus minus, 2 personal fouls, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks. He also had 3 steals, which was huge considering that he was one of the difference makers in the game, and the fact that he was able to get double figures with those steals and those blocks within 26 minutes. And he also shot 4 of 9 from the field, and he also was 0 of 3 from the three-point line. That was the biggest hurt part of his game, that he couldn't make the threes, but he did get to the free throw line, made both of them. He had 1 offensive rebound out of 1. That was his only rebound, and that was all he had total, but he did have 5 assists. El Strada, 12 points, -2 and plus minus, 2 personal foul, 1 turnover, 1 assist. That was it for him. Outside of that, scoring wise, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 6 from the 3-point line, 4 of 9 from the field in 17 minutes. That's decent. I like that. They did shoot a abysmal 39% from the field, and they did shoot below average 22% from three. They only made 6 of 27 threes. They was 13 of 19 from the free throw line, 68%. Got to do it better than that, especially because that's one of the easier shots in the game. They had 11 total turnovers, which isn't that bad in a 48-minute game. 9 steals total for as a team and only 4 blocks. But when you look at the team that ended up winning, they just had more firepower. They just had more know-how than the Detroit Pistons, who was finding themselves and still trying to see what they can do. They wasn't really great individual, even in ISO situations. And the Sixers just was different because of that. Bana 8 points, -3 and plus minus 5 personal foul, 1 turnover, 5 blocks. That's just huge amount of blocks, 5 total for the game. That's game high, which is usually what it's going to be. Most people can't get that many blocks in a game, even if it's not summer league. 1 assist, 7 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, 4 or 4 from the field. Made every attempt in this game. Um, Edwards 3 points, -1 and plus minus 2 turnovers, 1 rebound, 1 or 2 from the 3 point line, 1 or 4 from the field. Consul also did very well attacking the paint, 24 points total, plus 16 and plus minus 1 personal foul, 2 steals, 6 rebounds. One of them was offensive. He did go 9 of 9 from the free throw line, perfect, which is what you want to see. He did finish 1 of 6 from three. That's what you don't want to see. But he took a healthy amount of them. He just didn't make them at a healthy rate, which is obvious. But he finished 7 of 17. That's decent. It's not. It's good for high volume scoring. I think McClain, he got to figure out how to finish around that rim against athletes, because you're playing against the best athletes. And if you can't play against the starters, it's going to be the same playing against bench players, because they are some of the better players. And that's something that he has to do. If you're not going to shoot the three ball well, you got to at least make a floater or a mid range, or you're just going to be hurting your team offensively. And he was 1 of 6 from three, 4 of 14 from the field. He did shoot 2 or 3 from the free throw line, but 6 rebounds was the biggest thing that he did. And when you look at contribution, and he also had 1 assist and 2 steals, 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls, plus 19 and plus minus. He finished with 11 points. It's good that he scored double figures. It's good that he tried other ways to score besides just trying to be a shooter. But that's what he has to do anyway, is open his game, expand his horizons, because you're a little too slow. You're a little too easy to catch up with defensively, and you're not really blowing past guys like you did in college and high school. And I already see it in summer league, and that's not a good sign in my personal opinion, especially as a factual opinion if you want to be a great player, even if that's in a role. But you also have to deviate from it sometimes, because you get forced to by the defense to become uncomfortable and to get you out your comfort zone, to get you doing some stuff that you really can't do. But if you're able to do it, it's a strength, is the way you should look at it. Dalton, 18 points, plus 9 and plus minus, 1 personal foul, 4 turnovers, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 or 4 from the free throw line, 1 or 4 from the 3 point line, 7 of 13 from the field. You would just say he didn't make enough threes, but then again, 1 or 4 ain't the worst. Aluma, 19 points, was huge off that bench. It was one of the biggest reasons why they won this game. Plus 15 and plus minus, 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 8 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 1 of 1 for the free throw line, 2 of 2 from the 3 point line, 8 of 10 from the field in 22 minutes. This is what you want to see out of a guy that he was just flat out a fire starter. He just came in and just annihilated anybody that guarded him. He even dunked, and he's finishing, then he's shooting threes, and then he's out there grabbing boards, and then he's getting blocks, then he's getting steals. It's like, it's nothing that this man couldn't do in this game. And it's just good that he was able to make that type of impact. And that was one of the biggest, if not the reason why they won, was his contributions to, everything on the court, within 22 minutes. And people just didn't see it, and the Pistons couldn't adjust to it just because he only played 22 minutes. So it just hit him hard. It was the knockout blow for them to be able to finish this game as a victory. Hampton, 1 assist, plus 1 and plus minus. Sims, the same, 1 rebound, 0 of 2 from the field, nothing after that. Tucker, 3 points, plus 14 and plus minus, 3 blocks, which was huge, 1 steal with that, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, 2 of them was offensive, 1 or 2 from 3 point line, 1 or 3 from the field. Jones, 3 points, -6 and plus minus. He also had 5 rebounds, and he was 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 5 from the field. And then Mintz, 5 points, +1 and plus minus, 2 personal fouls, 2 turnovers, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. One of them was offensive. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 0 of 2 from three. He was 2 of 7 from the field, but he only played 17 minutes. This team shot 44% from the field. That's good for a high volume shooting team. The part that hurted them was the 3-point shooting, but they made that up with the free throw shooting. 17 of 21 from the free throw line. That's 81%. That's above average. That's great. Um, when you look at the team blocks, it's ridiculous. 10 blocks. That was one of the reasons why they won also. And then they was able to have 6 steals. And they only had 12 turnovers, but it was really them trying not to foul and turn the ball over. I feel like the Detroit Pistons did well on that also. But this was a competitive game that they just left, without being able to score enough points, which was the Pistons. They just kept getting stuck. They just kept getting stagnated, and they just couldn't create shots, and they just couldn't even do it from the interior. They just ran out of gas, ran out of weapons, ran out of moves, and then it was just time to just finish them off. And I feel like the Philadelphia 76ers was able to do that. This is actually a good roster. Like, when you look at this team and you look at what these guys can do, and you look at the team of their starting lineup and the guys that can create shots for them and the guys that can make their job easier, especially since they can create on their own and they can make moves on their own, this is actually can be a great bench for a team like the Sixers that need talent from top to bottom to fill in those blanks when it comes to guys getting injured. And if they're not getting injured, it leads to guys that can step up in those spots. And I feel like they showing that in Summer League, and that's just a good sign that you made the right decisions. Now, what role and what minutes do we need them to play when the regular season start? I think that's a tough question when you have a lot of these guys that are showing it early, and you get a lot more taste of it as Summer League continues. Then you can start figuring that stuff out as training camp starts, in October, and then it should be a little easier. But this actually is, if this is their 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th guys, it's really good. Like, I will give them that credit based off what I have seen from them so far in Summer League. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell so you can get more analysis quicker. I got 2,000 plus classics, and people love them. People new to the channel, this is what I'm talking to. You will love them too, because that's usually the response I get. Other than that, see you guys later.